Good morning, and I'm on my EasyJet flight to Berlin Schönefeld. Anyway, very easy to get to Gatwick via Thameslink, yeah, very smooth ride so far. No problems with boarding, no surprises. Flying an LCC like EasyJet, very good service. So very happy so far. Hello from Berlin Schönefeld. This is an interesting airport. Most interesting experience I've had getting off a plane, going through passport control and everything. This is the airport that was in the former GDR. The only airport that was in the GDR. So quite an interesting bit of history here. Security for all air flights apparently in Terminal C. D is where I came from, and of course A and B are over this way. So welcome to Germany. So I'm now on the S9, and what I've done at the airport, or Flughafen in German, is I've picked up this ticket for 72 hours of travel around. So it's called the Berlin Welcome Card. Well worth it, gets discounts on various attractions, and it's definitely the way to get around Berlin for the next 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever you choose. Guten Morgen. Hello from Berlin. So I am having a fantastic time here. If I just, let's see if I can adjust the white balance here. Of course can't. Darn. There's a really neat set of murals behind me. So right behind me is obviously my window. And there's some really cool murals. I'll post some pictures of them. Very political, very interesting. And of course, I've got trains going by. So right now the Intercity Express is going by right now. Also the U-Bahn, no, actually that's the S-Bahn, I should say. Actually goes by as well, so kind of a fun transit geek thing. I'm staying at the Hampton Berlin West. I am apparently in one of their newly renovated rooms. Pardon the mess, but the room here is very, it's smaller, and that's completely okay. I have no issue with that. I'll stay wherever I stay. But some really cool art on the walls. To me, it's very Berlin. 2 single beds, television, massive television actually, and sort of a cool couch space. So there's the couch and my famous boots, and then sort of kettle with coffee available and some tea. And then a very nice bathroom. So very nice accommodations, very cheap, perfect for Easter in Berlin. So what's on the plan for today? So today, I spent a lot of time in the Schönenberg area. I think it's Schönenberg. Schönenberg? I apologize, I'm still getting to know the city quite well. So I spent a lot of time essentially in the gay district of Berlin, which is very big, lots of shops, lots of bars to check out, lots of beers to try, and so I spent a lot of the day doing that. Today is going to be part tourist day, and then there's some plans that I've got in the evening. So we're going to Alexander Platz, going to go see the Brandenburg Gate, hopefully go up the TV tower. For some reason, I always thought the TV tower was in the west, and it was actually in the former east of Berlin. So that's going to be an interesting little bit of history. As you know, I have a whole thing about towers and going up the towers again, having grown up with the CN Tower in my backyard. So we'll be checking that out, and I will certainly be posting pictures, maybe some video, etc., because I've got a whole bunch of data to use up before April 24th. So, and there we go. So for the transit geeks, so Regio, Deutsche Bahn, Regio train just went by. That's sort of regional rail. So I get all the trains going by my room. All right. Anyway, I will talk to everybody later. When I was in Frankfurt in 1996, I met up with a friend who drove me around Frankfurt, gave me a tour while listening to Pink Floyd's Division Bell, and it's one of those tours that really struck a chord with me. It was interesting. It's one of those experiences I'll never forget. One of the things he pointed out to me was looking at some of the architecture in Frankfurt. You'll see buildings that are half modern, half old, and they were obviously damaged in World War II. And behind me is the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church, which was built in the 1890s and was bombed in 1943. And you can see some of the damage. In German, they essentially call it the hollow tooth. And it stands as a memorial to what happened in World War II. Quite a poignant site here in Berlin, and I was encouraged certainly to stop by, and certainly while I'm here, I'm going to make sure I stop by various sites and things like this. So this is definitely one of those must-sees, and it gives you really some good pause for thought around war and such. Hi everybody, this is Joe. Joe, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Joe.
So Joe, where are we, other than in the east side of Berlin?
We're on Unter den Linden in Berlin.
And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this was the way you would go down to the Brandenburg Gate. It's the main street in the eastern side of Berlin, I believe, or East Germany, and this is where all the parades were, and a lot of the civic buildings and historical buildings, and a lot of construction going on in this area.
So you could imagine tanks and military processions and things going down this particular street.
Now replaced by tour bus.
Hello from the Berlin TV Tower. So if you want to get a sense of what Berlin looks like, this is the place to do it. Hello and welcome to Potsdamer Platz. This is a really interesting place in the life of Berlin. You'll see why in a few seconds. Lots of interesting thoughts and things certainly come to mind. That right there is an actual piece of the Berlin Wall. And I've just crossed into what was the DMZ, the demilitarized zone. And what this place was essentially a wasteland. So you can see Canada House right there. So that's the Embassy of Canada, which was in the DMZ. Well, obviously there was nothing there, right? All this has been completely built up. Just behind me there's actually a small piece of the wall right where this plaza has been built, sort of behind the S-Bahn station there. Quite an incredible place. Not quite sure how to describe it or just what's changed here is just amazing. the transformation that this city has made since the Berlin Wall fell. You really have to be here to experience it and to read the history and the signage. So yeah, very, very interesting, very thought-provoking.